Welcome back, guys, to Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, as we're finally here to finish the battle. Let us move Soren in and see what happens next. Will we save Reyson up on top of the tower and stop this evil, evil lord of Begnion? Let's finish him with a nice Elwind spree, I think. Or should we just go wind, because it's a lot cheaper to be used, that's for sure. Spells from range. We know you can hit us back. Not a single person dodged in the meantime, but we got an extra attack generated there, but still. What? What fate is this? Is it just punishment for my complicity in this evil? Yes, pretty much. Soren and Ike are heavily injured, but they are our two strongest members at this point as well, in terms of level at least. Magic, skill, speed, luck, and res. Wouldn't be surprised if he capped out res at that point. Okay, we got a spear there, we'll send it back. He did indeed, res cap of 20. So he capped out a skill, so I'm the first person to cap out anything. I don't think Ike's capping out anything at this point in time. Maybe his speed's a bit above. I don't know what's above average or not. I heard there is, like, everyone has averages for certain characters at what level, yada yada, but still, right. So, where are we going now? Should we just seize and finish it? Or let a heal come in? Let's just seize and finish it. Finish it all. There's two lots of free experience there, though. Mister's like, no! Ah! Oh, my sweet, beautiful little bird. Don't be frightened. Come, let us fly away together. Stay away from me, you filthy fat man. Ugh. Come quietly. You belong to me. I will not give you up. No one shall take you from me. The price may be my life. I will never cooperate with you. Hey! Where are you? Juktanas! Are you in here? Ah, no! Juktanas! Who are you? Ah, you're the Serenes. Are you unharmed? We've come to help you. Your injury. Did that man do that to you? This wound must be tended to. Stay back! But do not approach me, cursed human! The Grill mercenaries have returned. Ah, Master Ike, it's good to see you well. How went the mission? Did you unearth any meaningful proof? Where is the Apostle? Master Ike? I must speak with the Apostle. Where is she? Apostle Sanaki is in the garden, having a pleasant conversation with Princess Alincia. I will go directly and see if she will meet with you. Please wait here. In the garden? Great! Ah, Master Ike, no! You must behave so! You will cause such problems! Apostle! What? You! What are you doing? How dare you approach me unannounced? This is most inappropriate, and I will not... What has happened, my Lord Ike? All of it. I want to hear all of it. Now! What are you talking about? Master Ike, one must not speak to the Apostle in such discourteous fashion. 20 years ago, something happened in Serenes Forest. Something terrible. I want to know. What? Master Ike? What happened 20 years ago? You found one of the Heron clan? And a Serenes noble, no less. One of them still lives? But such a thing. Apostle Sanaki. Tell me. That is a very difficult problem. How to impart this tale? It would appear that no one is willing to begin this story. That being so, I would open with what is commonly known as the matter. Do you find this acceptable? And you are? He's a friend of mine, Nasir. If you know something, I would hear it. When you are done, the Apostle can clarify. Agreed? It begins with the assassination of the previous Begnian Apostle. It was 20 years ago, 1 year after the Declaration of Emancipation was made. The leader at the time was the Apostle Misaha, who was more adored by the public than any apostle before, or since. When she was assassinated, the citizenry was racked with grief. All of Begnion despaired. And then, a rumour began to circulate that the assassination was the work of the Serenis Herons. In the twinkling of an eye, the rumour spread throughout the Begnion capital. One night shortly thereafter, it happened. The citizens grew violent. They massed at the edge of Serenis Forest, home of their supposed enemy, and set it to burn. The crowd raged on for 3 nights, and in the end, the Heron clan was lost. But their involvement was just a rumour, wasn't it? Why did they... Oh, the shame of it. Apostle, the remainder of the tale is yours. You stand as the Empress of Begnion. You are responsible for the acts of your citizens, are you not? False. The accusation was completely false. The assassination of the Apostle was not the work of the Serenis clan? That is correct. The Heron clan possessed no fighting skills. Their tribe survived by living a life of peace and piety within their forest. Unlike other Lagoos, they never focused on developing their strength for the purposes of combat. Anyone with any knowledge of Lagoos would have known such a thing. At the very least, the citizens of Begnion would have known this. However, they had lost their leader, and in their grief they cared little for the truth. They were merely looking for some way to vent their rage and despair. Isn't that true, Apostle? Please, Lord Nasir, your tone of voice. It's all right, Princess Alencia. He speaks the truth, be it with a sharpened tongue or no. Ike, the bird tribes of Phoenician target only Begnion ships with their piracy. The ravens of Kilvas are after cargo, and so they attack everyone with equal vigour. The Hawk clans, however, hold the Heron clan as brethren, and still remember the false accusations, and their brutal murder. The Heron at Oliver's mansion. He slapped my hand away when I tried to help him. He had such hatred in his eyes. When he leapt from the window, he spoke to me. Remember the genocide, he said. 20 years have passed, but I will never forgive what you did. Such needless pain. It may sound like utter hypocrisy, but my people regret deeply the actions of that horrific night. We stole the Heron clan from this world. Every time we see the blackened forest, our grave sin comes back to haunt us. Apostle, you are honourable. The majority of the senators have done their best to banish all memory of the Serenas in that night, yet you have resisted. That is your intent, is it not? You are not like them. You are attempting to take responsibility for the actions of the people. To undo the wrongs of the past, you launched your own investigation into the Lagoo's emancipation issue. You've even gone so far as to hire outsiders like Ike and his mercenaries to expose the problem, haven't you? Princess Alencia. Yes? I would like once more to make use of your escorts. Would you grant me this boon? Of course. That is, if Ike and his group agree, I have no objection to your proposal. Depends on what you want. The member of the Heron clan you met. I want you to find him. I want to meet with him. I want to speak with him. If that is your wish, we will do it. In any case, we let that monster Oliver slip through our grasp. Really? We'll handle both tasks at the same time. I'm counting on you. And so it's time for us to find that fat Duke. Let's go chase him down. A man of pure evil. We begin Chapter 17, Day Breaks. Is that it?
Wait, there's more! It seems that Prince Reyson was able to escape Duke Tanata's villa and make his way safely to Serenis Forest. However, we have word that Tanata's men have entered the forest in hopes of recapturing the prince. We've not a moment to waste. Please, O King of Hawks, reach out your mighty talons, strike down these wretched humans, and rescue Prince Reyson. I implore you, your majesty, take wing at once.
Why is Nasala not here?
that, His Highness must not be seen here at this time. It's...
What's going on, you old buzzard? King Kilvas is the White Prince's friend, isn't he?
Well, how do I put this? It's all very complicated.
I care not for excuses. If anything happens to Reyson, blood will be spilled.
Oh no, please, there's no cause for worry. Duke Tanat treats his works of art with a delicacy so extreme that it could best be called abnormal. He would never let any harm befall Prince Reyson. He probably can't even bring himself to touch him. The king himself told me so. That is the only reason he accepted this proposal.
Proposal?
What I mean is,
Hold it! You crows set the prince up?
Set up? Set up? Oh, no! Well, not exactly. Please don't hurt me!
So that's the truth of it, huh? Nasala treated Reyson like a piece of merchandise and sold him to a human.
No, that's not... The only one who referred to him as merchandise was Duke Tanas. We never...
It doesn't matter! Claiming ignorance does not grant you innocence. You treated Reyson like a trinket in a public market!
Oh dear.
If Reyson hadn't escaped on his own, perhaps the Crow King would have rescued him when things cooled down. Regardless, Reyson trusted in his friend and followed him into the trap, and Nealuchi spit on that friendship. That I cannot forgive!
Your assessment of this old bird is correct. I am a worm, and nothing more. But please, I beg of you, temper your outrage, let it cool.
You're unbelievable. What is it with you crows anyway? Everything you do is so dirty and deceptive. We will never understand your ways. Do you hear me, Grey Wings?
I hear you well, young hawk. But our nation has its own issues. Please, this is not the time to yell at a tired old man. You must hurry to Prince Reyson's side. Once he is safe, you can punish me in any way that you see fit. Tear me limb from limb if you wish. But please, go to Prince Reyson, I beg of you.
This begging is unseemly and unwanted. We would rescue Reyson regardless of the pathetic show of tears. Return to Kilvas and report these events to your accursed king. Tell him that when this is over, King Tibarn of Phoenician will be paying him a visit.
Yes, your highness.
I know he deserves it, but I still feel bad for badgering the old coot. Your Majesty, what will we do now?
Okay, use your ears to pick out the sound of Reyson's wings, then tell me the direction from which it comes. At once. Janaf, use your eyes to peer between the trees and find me a road.
You got it. Human scum.
If you think to replay that night from 20 years ago, you'll get no quarter from me.
Is that you, Soren? You're up early. Actually, I'm always awake at this time. Really? Yes, you're the one who's up earlier than normal. I want to finish our mission today. I think my nervous energy woke me up. I understand. The last 2 days spent searching Serena's forest for that heron have been frustrating and fruitless. I'm sure he's in there somewhere, but... I agree. And Duke Tanas's men are still hunting away. They must think the heron is there as well. The only place left is the forest's heart. That's where we should go today. With luck, we may finally locate our target. I get the feeling it's going to be a long day. Ike, I'd like to report the results of our last battle. It went fairly well, and the MVP was not Marcia. It was exactly who we thought it'd be. She stood there and she beat up tons of people. We also earned a ton of cash for doing as well, when we only spent 150 gold at some point in time. Lots of combat experience gained, a small bit of bonus experience, but that's kind of how things go. There were no deaths and no injuries beyond our capabilities to heal. Man, you two got messed up though. Everyone performed exceedingly well. That is all. By your leave, I will excuse myself. To be honest, I should start using Boyd again anyway, because Ike and Soren have got way above their level. I say that, but it's in Boyd level 17. He's not that far behind after all. Man, our troops, to be honest, are doing fairly well. 1916, Mists at 12 has started to level up by herself as well. Rolf's 15. I mean, everyone's quite evenly leveled. I mean, Soft's a bit lower down, but supposedly, you guys keep saying, he can't promote, which is weird. But I guess his overall stats might become ridiculous, unless his caps are low, which then might prove problematic. Gilles 15, look, just everyone's kind of around the same level as Volk we need to level up if we want to use him a bit more. And these are basically promoted units in some senses, so they're all cool. Reese could do a little bit more leveling, and then we got Kieran and other people like Gatry waiting in the wings in case we ever get the chance to use them, if you know what I mean. Ever get more than a small amount of enemy, like space in our group, because that's one of our main issues at the moment. Right, so it's time to manage support and info. So first of all, we start with the info, of course. Let's talk to this servant, which doesn't seem like a servant to me. Commander Ike, a priest from Duke Tanas's villa, insists on speaking with you. Yes? What is it? Master Mercenary, it is my understanding that you pursue Duke Tanas. I hear that you're searching Serena's forest in hopes of capturing him. And, if I am? Duke Tanas's property borders the forest, and he knows much about its layout. For quite some time now, he's been sending men into the forest to look for any herons who may still live there. I see. So you're saying that his troops know the forest well. I, too, have been taken into the forest. You? Why take a priest? He thought that herons would make themselves known if a priest called to them. He's also taken dozens of chaste maidens and tried having them called to the herons as well. But he didn't find any, did he? No, and yet, this time, the joy he expressed after paying such an exorbitant price for the Serena's Royal was aberrant. It was not natural. The Duke has gone mad. Think that he would dare to defy the Apostle. He is damned. And here you stand. You're going to tell me what you remember about the forest, even though it means you're betraying Tanas, right? You read me well. To begin with, the heart of the forest was divided into 3 large sections, maybe more. It was nearly colourless and difficult to see far. The muddy floor pulled at our feet, and progress was slow. Many of the soldiers around me were afraid that they didn't bring enough supplies. They said a person would need them if he got lost, because getting out again would be no easy task. What can you tell me about Duke Tanas's forces? There were a lot of them. He had soldiers of every type. It was said that his mounted units and magic users were especially powerful. So at the very least, you should be prepared to deal with those 2 groups. Thank you. My parents, they both participated in the Serena's massacre. They're nearing the ends of their lives, but even now they lie awake at night and beg the goddess for forgiveness. I became a priest in order to help my parents, but then I was assigned to work at Duke Tanas's villa. I knew of his terrible deeds, but his position as an imperial senator frightened me. I've been silent for far too long. Master Mercenary, you must rescue that Serena's youth. I beg of you. May the goddess guide your hand. Don't worry. I have no intention of letting that villain steal him from before my very eyes. Indeed I do not. Well, we got Jill and Devdan to speak to. Should we speak to Devdan first, even though I've usually gone in order? He's the more interesting one to speak to at this point. Newest member! La la la, la la la, la la, la, la di di da la di la. Hey there. You. Have a minute? Oh, Captain, how are you today? It's Commander, not Captain. Well, you seem to be enjoying yourself. That's because this garden is so pretty. Devdan loves all plants and flowers. How about you, Commander? They're alright, I suppose. That makes Devdan rather sad. Alright is not a very strong feeling. It is boring. You should be a more emotional commander. Even things you're used to will show you something new if you look hard enough, and discoveries are exciting. That's what life is all about. At least that's what Devdan thinks. Some disagree, and that makes Devdan upset. You may be onto something. In Crimea, when my father was still alive, I think I was more open to such things. But now, I just don't have the time. Honestly, all I can think about is defeating Dain. I have no energy left to spend on flowers. If you talk like that, you will never defeat Dain. What did you say? The war is new. If you're already so focused on preparations, you'll wear out before the fighting begins. Hold on a minute. I think he speaks very much the truth, so shall we speak to Jill to end the episode, then I'll sort out the supports and all the supplies in between. Jill, let's speak to you. here you are. We've been in Begnion for a while now, so tell me something. Why are you still here? Are you pretending to be our friends so you can lance us in the back? You have to understand. I didn't know anything. I was born and raised in the Talaiga region of Dain. It's a very remote area. My father was a soldier, and I grew up thinking that I too would one day be a soldier. A soldier to make my father proud. My life was simple. I questioned nothing, doubted nothing. Do you know the first thing we're taught in Dain schools? Subhumans are evil. Subhumans are the enemy. Subhumans must be eradicated. The army stages periodic subhuman hunts. We'd find refugees from Begnion hiding in our mountains and forests. You participated? You don't get it. That's just how things are in Dain. No one taught me the word Lagoose. No one taught me that subhumans could be like this. No one cared. When I saw the bird tribes at sea, I was convinced that the teachings were true. They were inhuman monsters. But later, I saw the dragons push your ship off of the reef, and it confused me. What if I had been raised to believe a lie? My heart pounded at the thought of it, and my doubts only grew with time. So, you decided to remain aboard in order to ascertain the truth. That's your true motive, isn't it? How did you know? I've known a lot of soldiers, and none would ever accept charity from an enemy. It would wound their pride. You obviously had pride to spare, so I knew there was some other factor at play. Oh. Well, have you reached a conclusion? What will you do? I want to stay here. At first, I thought I could protect my old life, and I could prove the subhumans were monsters. But I was wrong, and now things are different. I'm sorry. The Lagoos. I want to know the truth about them, and I need to base that on what I see, not what I am told by others. In that case, you can stay as long as you like. I appreciate it. I think meeting all of you was a very good thing. Indeed it seems to have been, so now we sort out all our troops yet again for next episode. Join me then, because we've had much talking, much discussion, and much story development as we head into the Serenus Forest. And now this is the part of the game that I actually have a memory of, and I know that we're in for a very long slog. A very long slog indeed. That's about all I remember though. So tune in next time, and I'll see you guys around. Bye bye.